Shalom to everyone. Today we're learning Zera Shimshon, Parashat Tazria. Zera Shimshon, Parashat Tazria, letter Zayin, in page Nun Vav, all the way on the bottom. And we would like to say thank you to our sponsor for this shiur, Rabbi Gabriel Ben Eliyahu Yitzchak, our doctor. Today is his grandfather's yortzeit, Leilu Nishmat Yitzchak Ben Yafa. Ruach Hashem Tenichenu B'Gan Eden. It should be Melitz Yosher for the family, for everyone. And within the year, Rabbi Gabriel and all our congregants of the shul should have banim zecharim la'avodato yitbarach v'chen yiratzon v'nomar Amen. Also, Leilu Nishmat Bella Belor Bat Esther, Miriam Bat Suri, and Yarchai Ben Sarah. I forgot yesterday's Yishua. Yes, Baruch. Forgot me Yarchai Ben Sarah. I missed it. I should have gone to Yishua. I forgot. Forgot me Yarchai Ben Sarah. Ruach Hashem Tenichenu B'Gan Eden, and also Elazar Ben Tamara. Ruach Hashem Tenichenu B'Chol Baris Ben Dora. Baris Ben Rena. וגם בריס בן רנה. רוח השם תניחם בגן עדן, וכן ירצון ונאמר אמן. ארי בן בולחו, לאה ליזה בת דינו, וגם דניאל בן בונו, וגם בלידה בת מלכה, וגם יוסף בן נקדם, גם רוזה בת מזל. רוח השם תניחם בגן עדן, וכן ירצון ונאמר אמן. אוקיי. In a week, maybe a week. Zayin. And the bottom. We want to say special thank you to Mrs. Minu Teherani and her entire family for listening to our shiurim, and everyone that listens to our shiurim, Mr. Jeffrey, from all over the world. Hashem should give you all baracha v'atzlacha v'chen yiratzon v'nomar amen. Okay. Pasuk. The Torah says, when person speaks lashon hara, he gets leprosy. He gets tzaraat. And when he has leprosy, who should we go to? Moshe Rabbeinu or Aaron HaKohen? He has to go to Aaron HaKohen. When person has problems with halachot Shabbat, who should we go to? Moshe Rabbeinu. Person has powers halachot kashrut, who should go to? Moshe Rabbeinu. Person has powers halachot ribit, who should go to? Moshe Rabbeinu. Why when he has tzara, he has to go to Aaron HaKohen?
He's the only one can declare pure and not pure.
Why him?
He's involved in purifying.
Is that a good question?
He purifies.
Very good question.
Why him?
So Hashem's service.
Moshe Rabbeinu was not close?
Okay. He accepts Tumah and then cleans it out.
Why are you supporting Aaron HaKohen? Because the name is Aaron?
Wow. On the spot.
Tell me, why to Aaron HaKohen? Fine, after Aaron HaKohen, other Kohanim.
He did Lashon Hara and got out?
I wouldn't say that. But we'll see. Who's that? Who? What people say with the Kohanim? What? Somebody said something over there. There's no way I could see them? By accident. Okay, sorry. Okay. This is the question. Let's get to the answer. Today's Zera Shimshon will take us like 40 minutes. It's a little bit long, but it's worth it. Every detail is important. Let's try not to make too many questions, but if you have pen and a paper, try to write down whatever you could. If you can't, go over it and learn. This Zera Shimshon has a lot of life to it. Rabbi Ariel Shalom Aleichem, on time. We're starting Zera Shimshon on time. Make bracha Leilu Nishmat Yitzchak Ben Yafa, and let's continue. Pasuk. Ve'uva el Aaron HaKohen. Person who has leprosy, he's brought to Aaron HaKohen. Tzarich tam, lama tum'ah, v'atara של הניגעים תלויה ביד כהן ולא ביד החכם, כמו שאר דינים של איסור והיתר שבכל התורה כולה.
That's the question.
Why all the other? By the way, we're learning right now. We get mitzvah from Rabbi Chaim Kanievski. 5 minutes a day we should spend. Guys, no. This is Rabbi Nathaniel in the house. Bruchim Abim Rabbi Nathaniel. We could say hello. I know the whole world watching me, but it's Rabbi Nathaniel here. Shalom Aleichem, Bruchim Abim. How are you? Okay. Why? When you have problems with halachot, you go to Moshe Rabbeinu or to the other rabbi, Chacham. Here, problem with Tum'ah, you go to Aaron HaKohen. Why? One second, we have. Huh? Because he was sick with this himself?
He was not. It was only Miriam sick.
No. There's something deeper. There's something deeper than this. It takes 40 minutes, but it's going to be deeper.
Seatbelt.
Okay. You have the seatbelt? ועוד, איתה במדרש, סוף פרשה זו. It says in Midrash, ויקרא רבה, the end of this parsha, it says like this. אמר רבי לוי בשם רבי חמא בר חנינא. Rabbi Levi said, in the name of Rabbi Chama bar Chanina, צער גדול היה לו למשה בדבר זה. Moshe Rabbeinu had really big pain. Why? When people have leprosy, you should come to Aaron. Why he has pain? Because it's like, you have question, you go to rabbi and not to a Kohen, or like, why with such a dirty thing you go to Aaron a Kohen? Leprosy is a disgusting thing. Who has leprosy? Who speaks? Lashon hara. So he got like embarrassed. Like, why such a disgusting questions? People go to my brother. It's not kavod. Achili yod Yosef v'ro'eh et hanega'im. My brother should sit and look at the leprosies. Come on. Amar HaKadosh Baruch Hu, Hashem said, v'lo ne'eleh mimenu, kav daled, matanot keuna, ad kan leshono. Why are you going so upset? Don't you know Kohen gets 24 matanot keuna? Kohen gets 24 types of presents from Israelim. Questions, dirty question, you get upset for your brother, but 24 gifts that he gets, you don't get upset, huh? That's the question of Moshe Rabbeinu, and that's the answer of Hashem to him. What is Hashem explaining you? Where did you see him before in your life? Ever? Number 24. My question to you. Before I start reading and flying through Zera Shimshon. 24,000. I never thought about this. Malaron, you opened my eye to different highway of Lag Bomer now. Woo. It's a big woo. Wow. This is sure for itself. But where do you get number 24 from?
Hours a day. Hours per day.
24 hours a day. Do you know what the truth is? I did not prepare for this, but when you will know, original 24, you could connect it to the hours of the day as well, and you will jump from happiness. Where is this coming from? Where did you see before number 24? Rabbi Awadza, where did you see number 24 before? Huh? Rav David, where did you see number 24? Rav Nissim? 24 number, where did you see before? Rav Hevel, do you have any 24 numbers? Huh? The books of Tanakh! Very good. Why books of Tanakh has 24 books? Maybe I don't know myself the answer. Maybe I do. Today's Zera Shimshon will open you. Whoa! Rabbi Avram, what do you say? What do you say? Tell me. Why 24? Rabbi Gabriel? Help me, guys. Come on. Yeah? Let's go. Put your seatbelt on and let's go, guys. Number 24. If someone asks me what's the shiur here, number 24. I'll tell you all the angles of Adam, Arishon, and Chava, 90% we touched. Except for this angle. Never. I said to myself, I was reading today, then I went to different source and I saw he quotes Magale Amukot, and I said, how can I not mention this in my life? I want to beat myself up. It's so deep. Let's go. ועודית במדרש. סוף פרשה זו. we did that, no? We did that. והוא תמוה. מה עניין כ"ד מתנות כהונה עם הנגעים? What is going on? Connection. Hashem said, Moshe, you're getting upset with the leprosy that people come to Aaron HaKohen. He's going to get 24 gifts. What's 24 gifts has to do with the leprosy? 24? 24. Leprosy. What has to do with leprosy? Question. וכמו שראינו מקשים על דבר זה, שאם קושיית משה קושיית תשובה, הקדוש ברוך הוא אין את תשובה. If Moshe Rabbeinu's question is a question, Hashem's answer is not a question. Hashem's answer also a good question. Oh, you're getting upset for leprosy. Why not getting upset for number 24 gifts? Why it has to be 24? ולפי הפשט, נוכל לתת שני טעמים. למה דווקא דין הנגעים מסור ביד כהן? We could give, according to the pshat, two answers. Why leprosy questions has to go to Aaron HaKohen? בפרק כמה דברחות, it says in the Gemara ברכות, page 5b. אמרינן דנגעים היו מזבח כפרה. Oh, good. Somebody has leprosy, he brings a sacrifice is brought on the altar, they bring sacrifice, he gets kapara. He's leper, he cures kapara for his sin. 1 second. Who can bring your sacrifice onto the altar?
Kohen.
Only Kohen. So therefore, leprosy has to do with Kohen. That's Parashat Pshat. Simple answer. Simple, makes sense. But still we don't know the answer to number 24. Okay. ועוד, another simple answer we could give, יש לומר דאמרים במדרש רבה, למה נסמכה קורבן לידה אצל נגעים? Why giving birth, korban of giving birth is close to the korban of the, why korban of giving birth has to do with the leprosy? You know, Parashat Tazria, you count Tazria, and then talks about women giving korbanot, huh?
Last time you mentioned that when a woman's giving birth, she might say something.
Yeah. She says, I will never get pregnant again. 6 months later, you see she's walking pregnant again. Hashem says, pois were pissing. I hope this shiur doesn't cause me enemies, you know. But it's true. Woman, when she has pain of labor, she says, never again, I'm gonna get pregnant. Year later, you see she's walking out pregnant. Torah says, bring korban now. For the neder. Amar HaKadosh Baruch Hu. Ani amarti lecha korban leda. Hashem said to men, your wife gave birth, bring korban for giving birth. V'ata lo asita ken. And you did not bring korban for giving birth. Thank you, no? That's korban what? Today we say instead what? Gomel. Hashem, thank you. I'm live, korban for giving. Okay. Chayecha shani matzlichecha lavo etzel kohen. Hashem said, since I told you, when your wife gives birth, you have to bring korban. Say thank you. You didn't bring korban. Now you will be leper, and you're gonna bring korban either way. You're gonna look for kohen either way. So since over there you didn't bring to kohen, when your wife gave birth, now you have to bring to kohen korban what? When you have leprosy. Here we see he came to kohen for what? For not having appreciation. His wife had baby, he didn't bring korban, now he has to go around after kohen.
Because of his leprosy.
Yes. Shene'emar v'uvay la'aron ha'kohen ad kan l'shon. So now we got two pshatim. Why? What has to do leper with kohen?
Yeah.
A, leper had to be with korban. Korban who brings only kohen. B. Okay. Second is when somebody's wife has baby, he doesn't bring korban. No, thank you. Hashem says now you're going to look for kohen as a leper. Now, makes sense. מוכח מכאן שהנגעים באו בשביל שהכהן הפסיד קורבן לידה. So comes out this guy had leprosy because kohen lost on a korban when his wife had baby. Make sense? His wife had baby, he didn't bring korban, right? Korban lost out, kohen lost out.
I know, but he didn't say lashon hara.
Maybe it's another reason why he gets leprosy.
Why you always look in the highway of lashon hara to get leprosy?
That's what you said.
What are you talking about? Sometimes Hashem wants you to become rich, you get leprosy.
Wow.
The world's leprosy got Okay, Hashem wanted to get rich. They broke the walls to get rich. So if Hashem wants a person to get leprosy, any reason could be there. But 90% reason, 90% usually for what? For Lashon Hara. But sometimes happens for different reasons, and this is different reasons. There's a majority and there's minority. Minority happens for different reasons. Can I go further?
You can be a leper just by not saying thank you for having for.
That's what we learn. Because Kohen lost on the Korban. I would appreciate to continue further. ועוד, and also, יש לומר טעם אחר, ובו יתולץ אף מדרש. He says, Zera Shimshon says, there's another reason, and with this we could explain it may be the midrash of 24. שהרי עיקר הנגעים באים על לשון הרע. You see, Mr. Aaron, all of guys, don't look at him like this. Previous Gilgul he was Chavruto of Zera Shimshon. You never know. He's asking good questions. Look what it says. It says the main Nagaim come when person is Lashon Hara, Kmo Shamru Zal. Es Chachamim said, Zot tiye Torah Metzorah. This should be the Torah. Torah means law. This should be the laws of the Metzorah. Who's Metzorah? Hamotzi Shem Ra. A person who takes out bad name on another person. Umi shemotzi shem ra al chavero. What means motzi shem ra? A rumor that was never happened. That never happened. Listen to me. Now, I don't like to make you upset. You're a nice guy. If I tell you something, you're gonna for sure not gonna say this on Shabbat. I remember something I learned from Rawokin today. It's unbelievable. It's crazy, crazy deep. You ready? Huh? Yes. Rabbi Nathaniel, ready? Yeah. But you're going to promise me you're going to say the word on Shabbat somewhere. Or in the shul or in the house. Ready? Yep. Okay. And then you will see why after 23 years, I sit on my car and always drive to the walking to learn with him 45 minutes, 1 hour a day. Yeah? Today we learned halacha. It says if... Yeah? It says in halacha, if someone took out bad rumor about you, that you not careful with talking to women, you touch women, you kiss women, and then you want to become a witness, you're not allowed to be a witness. HaChoshed ba'arayot asur liyot ed. He's not allowed to deal with it, not allowed to be witness there. If he is HaChoshed ba'arayot. Then I walk in, smiled. I said, why you smile, baby? He said, I remember the story. I said, oh, I want to hear it. In Europe, Poland, I don't know, close to 100 years ago, maybe 100 years ago, there was a shochet. I hope Ravok is not going to beat me up. I'm saying all this issue goes throughout the world, But it's okay, I'm willing to get beaten up just to show you what is true Jew is. True Jew. Okay? So they said to Ravok's grandfather, Zikan Aaron, they said, Rabbi, you see the shochet? People talk about him that he touched certain woman. But Ravok's grandfather saw this guy's a really religious guy. And he knows shlita very well. If he takes shlita from him and gives to somebody else, that guy does know shlita well. So Ravok's grandfather said, what do you want me to do? Take license away from him. Take knife away from him. Take the davede. I said davede, trust. Take trust away from him. People shouldn't do shchita by him. Done. Ravok's grandfather looked at him and said, listen, there's a law in the Shulchan Aruch. If somebody's hand shaking, he's not allowed to be shochet. He said, my hands are shaking to slaughter another Jew. I'm not kosher shochet for that. I can't slaughter a shochet. I cannot slaughter another Jew because my hands are shaking. If my hands are shaking, I can't be shochet. Do you understand? Mm-hmm. To take his license away, he's slaughtering him. He says to slaughter another Jew, my hands are shaking. Today, when we have opportunity to put somebody down to embrace it, so it's we don't even think twice. Starting from great grandfather, But this shows you how we have to be so sensitive about feelings of every Jew. With his paranasa, with his life, with this. Of course, if somebody's acting too weird, too much, go to Rabbi, talk to him nicely, explain to him, what are you doing? How are you doing? Where is this from? Where you got this from? Which rabbi behind this? Who gave you this proper derech to be madrich this way? What is going on? When you see he's totally off, then it's a different story. But to go right away and slaughter another Jew, be careful. Be careful. I don't know, what do you say? You don't like it? This is 2 out of 6. Out of 4, I can't say here. It's something for Shabbat. Something for Shabbat, it's worth it. So, let's go further. The odd, huh? It's recording here. That one. We'll do some. ועוד יש לומר טעם אחר, ובו יתולץ אף מדרש, שהרי עיקר הנגעים באים על ידי הלשון הרע. The main leprosy comes to a person because of לשון, כמו שאמרו ז"ל. זאת תהיה תורת המצורע, מוציא שם רע. ומי שמוציא שם רע על חברו, בוודאי ששמץ פסול יש בו. ששמץ פסול יש בו. A person who speaks לשון רע about his friend, right away shows you what? There's something dirty about this guy. Person doesn't see something dirty in another person unless he has the same dirt. Wow. Do you understand?
Wow.
Ki the Amar Shmuel, as Shmuel said, Perek Dalet de Kiddushin, in Gemara Kiddushin, page 78. Kol posel pasul ubemumo posel. Anyone makes something pasul, he makes with his own blemish pasul. This is why when somebody says this guy is mamzer, investigate the one who said it. Because people don't call other people mamzer for no reason. When somebody says this is mamzer, stop. Why did you say this word? Investigate him. Who remembers which word, one word Og said, Gemara ran after it. Sota. What one word Og said? He said, what am I, dog to you to fight with this small kid? Gemara says his mother lived with 100 men and 1 dog. And he got pregnant from that.
Not Og, David fought.
Not Og, sorry, Goliath, sorry.
Goliath.
Sorry. I see you didn't give the answer, huh? Could be because I asked wrong, sorry. I know if I would ask properly, you would give me the answer. Ki, hi, the Batke Bnei Ma'arava, ki menatu, treba adode, bahade adode, chazu, Hai minayu de kadim v'shatik. Amre hai meyuchas tfei. When they saw people from Marava, from Eretz Israel, they were fighting 2 people with each other, and one of them was He wanted to embarrass him, but he said quiet. He said, this guy said quiet, he is coming from very chashuv family. Amar Rav shtikuta de Bavel haynu yachsuta. He said, Babylonian silence! It shows you that he's coming from the great family. ועוד אמרינן נתם, אמר רב חמא בר חנינא, כשב הקדוש ברוך הוא משרה שכינתו, אין משרה אלא על משפחות מיוחסות שבישראל. When Hashem puts his shechina, Hashem puts only on special families. Very important. Who is your avlot? When Hashem puts shechina, Hashem puts an avlot. Not individual. Individual is good. Avlot. Shenemar, as Pasuk over there says, the Rambam Psak also regarding Alachot Turumot, Halacha Bet, Turuma shel Torah en ochelota ela kohen meyuchas. When you give Turuma to a Kohen, who is this? A special Kohen meyuchas. Who is known Kohen. Kahan or Kagan, this is the last name of Chafetz Chaim. Actually, that's not last name of Chafetz Chaim. Chafetz Chaim had, he is Kohen, but they had totally different last name. Did you know that Chafetz Chaim's parents were killed and he was raised in another family? Rawolkin told me this. You will never see this in any book. Rawolkin knows why, because Rawolkin's grandfather's father, Rawolkin's grandfather was very close to Chafetz Chaim, and Rawolkin's father was learning by Chafetz Chaim. There's a picture. I was standing with a cigarette in front of Chafetz Chaim. Those people smoke. Today, did you see the picture?
Yeah.
With Rabbi. Who made this shas? All over the world, Shas, learning Shas. Who made it? Rab Meir Shapiro of Lublin. Rab Meir Shapiro was standing in the picture I showed you with Rav Wolkin's grandfather. The older one is Rav Wolkin's grandfather, Zkan Aaron, and the younger one is Rab Meir Shapiro.
So the one in the middle? The one in the middle?
Down there in the middle is Rav Wolkin's grandfather, Zkan Aaron.
Who's the one on the right?
The one on the right is Rab Meir Shapiro. Guys, Rav Wolkin's grandfather's big rabbis.
Oh, this is
If I would know from Samarkand, Hashem will put me with such a big people, I mean, I would be here 50 years.
That's Rav Wolkin's grandfather.
our grandfather. Who's on the right?
That's the guy.
You know, they put Rav Wolkin's grandfather in jail, and he wrote down the whole Baba Kama, Pirush and Baba Kama, by heart. No Gemara. Да. Зган Аарон. You know, чтобы сделать Агудат Рабаним в Америке, I never knew this, I heard it today, first time in my life. In order to establish Agudat Rabanim in America, he came to America. 1930s. By boat. There was no plane that time. He came to America, established Agudat Rabanim. There was no Aaron Kotler here. Rav Wolkin's grandfather said, one day there's going to be great Torah in America. Then he went back to Germany because there was a rabbi in there. Not Germany, Poland. He went back to Poland, he had heart problems. When he got sick, it was 1940, 1941. War became. In the hospital, they didn't take care of him because they were busy with war. And he died. He died, partisans, Russian soldiers. They took his body and they buried him right near the hospital. This is what Rav Wolkin knows about him. No, Rav Wolkin's grandfather, Zkan Aaron. Zekan Aaron. But the books he wrote, I have those books. And you know what's interesting? Now, Ovadia Yosef, like 50 times, more, 1,000 times, quoting in his halachot Zkan Aaron all the time. All the time. He was a big rabbi. Okay, guys, we're ready? Huh? Your seatbelts are on? Let's go. Which number are we looking for? That's right. Believe me, after today's shiur, you're going to tell me, yes, Rabbi Akilov wasted my time, extra 15, 20 minutes with these stories, but it was worth it. Take this shiur, read it, write it, rewrite it. It's worth it, every word of the shiur. Zera Shimshon was amazing. Teruma shel Torah. Teruma deoraita. En ochel ota ela kohen meyuchas. You give only to a special kohen, who's known kohen for generations. Ad kan leshono umikol sheken. Kodshim she'en ochlim otam ela meyuchasim. Kodshim also. The korbanot, who eats only kohanim. Kanire misifri. Huva beyalkut. Sof Parashat Korach, as is brought by Yalkut Shimoni in Parashat Korach, in Bamidbar. Ulchen, Ratzah Kadosh Baruch Hu. Oh, now let's go. Therefore Hashem wanted, Shetumad Negaim, Tiyeh Mesorah Biyad HaKohanim. Only the impureness of Tzara'at should be given to a Kohanim. Kedei sheyed'u mihu hamenuga, shehu siman she'hotzi Shem Ra. They wanted Metzorah to come to a Kohen to show who is the guy who spoke Lashon Hara. This is the guy who became Tzarat. When a person comes to a Kohen, he's embarrassed. Why? Because he spoke bad about somebody else, and this is why he got leprosy. If so, then for sure there's a impureness, there's a psul, there's a blemish in the family. In order the Kohanim should stay away from that family. Once he is leper, he's making more wars, fights. He's not such a good family. Therefore, now it makes sense what Hashem answered to Moshe. Moshe Rabbeinu was worried. What is this? My brother Aaron is not respectful for people to come and show him the dirty stuff. Amar lo HaKadosh Baruch Hu, Adarabah. Hashem said opposite. Shevach hulo, that is praise to Aaron. Shebazeh yachol lishmor kedushat yichuso. He could hold his holiness of his family. Why you come? You have to come to Aaron because once Aaron knows this guy has leprosy, his whole family is not clean people. Stay away from his family. Stay away from that family. Stay away from this family. And this is how Cohen could protect himself.
But why does one person's sin cause the others automatically make the family the whole problem?
This person check his parents.
I get that.
One smart man once said something very smart. It's funny. He said, sometimes person acting too good. You know what does this mean? Snowing under charcoal. But when sun comes, what happens to snow? Melts. What do you see? Charcoal. So Hashem shows through this guy that he's leper. Aaron, why he has to come to Aaron? You have to know one thing. Levi, he could marry anybody. Israel could marry anybody. Cohen cannot marry anybody. If girl, her father was a goy, mother is Jewish, Cohen cannot marry her. Because he's touching his family, zichus. Both sides has to be clean. Once person has leprosy, means there's something wrong there. Missing a screw. Therefore he has to stay away from this. Stay away from this. Huh? You understand? I don't want to be carried away. ובזה התשעה בתשובת הקדוש ברוך הוא למשה, כשהיה מצטער שלא היה כבודו של אהרון, אמר לו הקדוש ברוך הוא, אדרבה, שבח הוא לו, שבזה יכול לשמור קדושת ייחוסו, ויהיה ראוי לקבל כל הקו ד' מתנות כהונה. Once Aaron will be protecting himself to be holy, now he's worthy to get 24 presents. By the way, הלכה למעשה, if Cohen got married, if Cohen did get married to a girl like this, he's not allowed to divorce her. Okay, so I don't want to go to this halacha, but just I'm telling you, I told you a question, huh? Kids are 100% kosher. Okay, let's go further. So now, Aaron, once he's going to be protecting his family, he's going to get 24 gifts, and his children is not going to be chalalim or pesulim. What means halal? Ruined Kohen. Ruined.
Meaning they can't do Birkat Kohanim?
Oh no, never. Halal is Cohen. Can Cohen marry divorced woman? No. So he got the divorced woman, and then she had baby. What happened to the baby? Halal. Ruined Cohen. Huh?
You cannot restore the stuff.
We'll talk. Means you can't just. Every case is different, and every situation is different, and we don't want to talk about it. We don't want.
So this person, if he goes up, this halal, he goes up and he makes his, it goes Birkat Kohanim, he makes Bracha Levatala?
These questions cannot be asked in public here. Number two, every case is different. Depends when they got married, when the parents got married in America, in Russia. There's too many details. Okay? And I'm sure if any rabbi who knows this stuff saw them, he asked them, and he figured out what the case was. Okay? אם היה נושא אישה פסולה, לא הייתה שורה השכונה בזיווג ההוא, ולא יהיו נולדים בנים תלמידי חכמים. But if, God forbid, Cohen marries a woman who is not worthy for him, then from that zivug will not be children תלמידי חכמים. ואם יהיו עמי הארץ, אמרינן ברשפק י"ד סנהדרין שאין נותנים מתנה לכהן עם הארץ. But if from certain Cohen children during the Beit HaMikdash time came out Am Haaretz, they would not give him matnot kehuna. Why? Because they say since he's Am Haaretz, it shows sign. Do you see how from one side Torah says you have to love everybody and have kav zechut? From the other side, Torah shows you if you're Cohen, open your eyes. You have to keep your eyes always open. It's Cohen has a lot of responsibilities in life. You know, Israel could marry this woman, that woman, then no, divorce, not divorce. Cohen, no. This is why Kohanim, they have to be very careful. Step by step. ובדרך אחר, עוד יש לומר, I'll tell you one thing. I know in Samarkand, a lot of Kohanim, they were very serious people. Do you know, I know Kohanim, they died not married.
Because they couldn't find them?
They couldn't, because not to lose their status of Kohanim. Because nobody gave them girls and they didn't want to marry divorced women. And they died like this, died. And they still want to in Israel like this, that they're still alive. Old 60s. I remember them from Samarkand. They never got married. Few brothers even. They said, no, we're not losing our status of
What
Kohuna.
happens if you marry?
Huh?
She loses the Kohuna.
What should they do? I don't know. Listen, everybody has their own cheshbonot. Of course, Torah says,
He loses Kohen status until he lets
what do
her
you say?
go. That's what I read.
If he marries divorced woman, children not Kohanim anymore, that's all done.
Well, he still is.
What? As long as he's married with her, he's not allowed to be Kat Kohanim.
No.
No. You can't give him first aliyah in the Torah. Okay. Ubederech acher, guys, let's move. By certain communities, not Bukharians, there's a problem there. What's the problem? In Persia, whoever was honored person, they would say Kohen. Kohen Avram, Kohen Yitzchak, Kohen Nisan, Kohen Daniel, Kohen Pinchas. They were not Kohanim. Bechorim they could Kohen. Yeah. So by Bukharis we don't have so much. Why? Because by us people know Chesh the word. They say, oh, this guy's Kohen, this guy's Kohen. But by them, if they come to different communities, it's very hard to figure out who's Kohen, who's not Kohen.
It's like Mulo, you say Mulo.
Mulo, yeah, Kohen, exactly. By Bukharis we're very little. But by Persians there is such a thing that what Yosef says. There's too many of them. They call Kohen. It's just you don't know Bichlal that's Kohen.
Rabbi, I think you told us a story at one point that there was people circling the mountains and there was only one Kohen. Remember there was.
Oh, remember that?
There was only one Kohen in the back.
Rabbi Gaon. They would go all around, make a kafot around Har HaZitim. And Eliyahu came to him and said, you know who's the original Kohen over here? This guy that's limping and blind on one eye. He said, what are you talking about? They all have jomas, and he doesn't have joma. They said, that what looks in the outside. He said, inside. This guy is the little guy. That's what said, scary. Guys, I have nothing against nobody. Please. Let's move. Your questions cause me problems. I need to move on. ובדרך אחר, עוד יש לומר שידעו מה שאמרו ז"ל, שהקדוש ברוך הוא תיקן את חווה בכ"ד תכשיטין. Now we begin. Hashem, before marrying Chava to Adam, Hashem put on her 24 decorations. Where you got 24 books from? Here. How many tablets do we have? 2. Each tablet was? 3 hand breadths on 4. 4 on 3. 4 on 3 is 12. 12 and second tablet also 12 has to come out to 24. 24 hand breadths. Some say amot. Okay? That's second. 24 books. 24 hours. 24 students of Rabbi Akiva. So 24 comes from here. One word. What's the word? Look at this. ואחר כך הביאה אל האדם. Hashem prepared Chava with 24 decorations and he brought her on Adam. כמניין ויביאها. And Hashem brought her Chava decorations 24 to Adam. Vav is 6, Yud is 10, 16, Bet is 2, 18, Aleph is 1, 19, Hey is 5, 24. El Adam, he brought her to Adam. Dichtiv chaser, it's written without extra letters, additional letters. Then what happened? Jealous one came. Who's the jealous? Snake. Va'anachash belashon hara shelo. And snake came with his lashon hara. Hefechet hateva ve'asta. No, vayevi'eha. He said ve'eva. What's eva? Hatred. He came. He sinned with Chava on 24 ways. He changed the letter from vayevi'eha. He put over there. It became ve'eva. Instead of Hashem brought her to Chava to Adam, what happened? Hatred between Chava and Adam. Why? Snake lived with the Chava. What's the impureness goes down into 24 gates. 24. Now we understand something. Vezeu ve'eva ashit. And what? She put hatred. כמו עשית. וקלקל באותם הכ"ד תכשיטים. And snake ruined on 24 decorations. שהיו כנגד כ"ד צירופי אדנות. It was 24 letters of Aleph Dalet Nun Yud. If you split 4, each one's written with 3 letters. 3 times 4 is 12. And Aleph Dalet Nun Yud this way. And Aleph Dalet Nun Yud that way. It comes out 12 and 12. 24. Okay? ובחטא זה נתגבר הנחש בכ"ד זיני דמסעבותא. The snake went up with the strength of how they call it? Zohama. Zohama is special impureness. It sticked into Chava. Instead of holiness, she stick 24 levels of impureness. כדאית בזוהר. It says in Zohar, וכל כוונתנו בעסק התורה הוא לבטל כוחה של אלו הכ"ד. Whenever we learn Torah, we always undo the power of this 24. שכבר הנחש התילם בחווה ובזרעה. Because snakes sticked into Chava, into her seeds, and to her children, this 24 dirt. So therefore we have 2 tablets, which comes out to each tablet was 12 tvachim, 12 times 2 is 24, and therefore we have 24 books to take out from Chava all this dirt. Umi, shemishamel Shabbat, whoever keeps Shabbat, nitzol mehem, he will be saved from this 24 impureness. Shahare be'oto hayom Shabbato hamazikin min ha'olam, because as soon as Shabbat begins, 24 levels of impureness, they rest from the world. They don't come. Therefore, your Shabbat meal is different taste, different smell than the regular meal.
They come back
After Shabbat. Al mizmor shir leyom HaShabbat. Vezeu shelamaz hakatuv. Now, what do we say? Look at the first letters. Don't say you didn't know. Veshamru bnei Israel et HaShabbat. What was Shamru? Vav. Veshamru. Vav is 6, Bnei Bet 2, Yud is Israel. Veshamru Bnei Israel, Israel is Yud, 10. Now we got 6 to 10, 18. Et HaShabbat, Aleph is 1, 19. HaShabbat Hey is 5, 24. Rashi Tevat ve'eva. The Shabbat, Veshamru Bnei Israel et HaShabbat, as soon as we kept Shabbat, we changed the 24 from negative to positive.
That's crazy.
And Nissim fell asleep at this time. Wake him up, guys. Are you there? Okay, so let's go. I feel bad for hard part you were there, and then I felt bad that you're sleeping. For the good part. V'chen matzinu. Did I warn you that you're gonna have some crazy stuff? Oh, who's flying? I told you to put your seatbelt on. Let's go further. V'chen matzinu. What do you think we done? We just began. V'chen matzinu. Shebishvil lashon hara nigzar al avotenu bamidbar shelo yikansu la'aretz. Because of their tongue. Hashem said, now you're not going to go to Israel. Uchtiv. What do it say? Upigrechem ot atem yipelu bamidbar hazeh. Hashem said, your carcass will be on the floor of this desert. 40 years they were in desert. All these Lashon Hara people, they all died there. Meraglim. And all the other people that believed. Now, upigrechem le'ravav. Vav is how much? 6. Help me up, guys. Atem. 7. Aleph. 7. Yipelu Yud. 10. How much? 17. Bet is Bamidbar. 2. 19. Hey is Hazeh. 24. Hashem said, you have 24 of Torah. You speak Lashon Hara, all 24 will be taken away. And what happened to your body? Your body became like full of 24 of Nachash. So therefore it has to remain in the desert. Don't bring it to Holy Land. Ubishvil Lashon Hara nami charav habayit. Because of Lashon Hara also the Beit HaMikdash got destroyed. Vezeu eicha yashva badat. Ira raboti. What happened there also comes out to Eva 24. That's who brought Megalei Amukot. She'arich harbe be'inyanim elu. He explains even more and more. Let's go further. V'od amrin b'midrash. And also it says in Midrash, we said in Midrash, Kavdal minei shchin hem. 24 types of boils. V'akonim hayu. How many groups of kohanim were? 24 groups. That's right. Kavdalet mishmarot. Why? Each one has to fix his own highway of impureness that came into Chava. והכהן יש לו להקריב הקורבנות ולאוכלן. כהן has to bring קורבן and eat. כמו שאמרו, it says in גמר פסחים page 59b, הכהנים אוכלים והבעלים מתכפרים. כהן eats and the one who brings קורבן, he gets purified. Guys, you see Kohen, give him a lot of kavod. The strongest beracha ever that you can get is Birkat Kohanim. Don't forget that. The strongest. They have. Each Kohen says, Levarech et Amo Yisrael be'ahava, with the double love. Love to people, ahava is 13. Love to people, love to Hashem, 13, 26. Shekhinah is among them. So therefore, if Kohen doesn't like people, we tell him, stand outside. Be'ahava, yeah.
They can't be chazan, right?
Huh?
They can't be chazan either, right?
No, Chazan is one thing. Birkat Kohanim, there's a different law. Yeah. I mean, every Jew has to love everybody. Once, yesterday was love, when 2 days ago was love, Avigdor Miller's your side. I know for sure it's 21 years ago. Why? Because when he passed away, I was going out with my wife and I saw the funeral in Brooklyn, but I did not know. It was Rabbi Avigdor Miller. I was that time, 19 years old. When I came home, then I heard from my rabbi, Rabbi Aaron Wolkin, he said, Rabbi Avigdor Miller passed away. Then I found out it was him. If I would know, I would be there. Like 4 weeks ago, in Brooklyn, 3 weeks ago. Rabbi Cheskel Roth passed away. I heard his name, I ran. And I was on time for the Levaya. He was Gadol Ador. He gave our Aaron Wolkin smicha to check Marot Nida. To check Nida. And our Torahs. He was big rabbi. Rabbi Avigdor Miller was giving one shiur. Somebody wrote a paper. There was like gliding questions, and he would give it to him. He wrote it and said, he would say like this: what if you hate another Jew? He says, if you hate another Jew, Hashem hates you. Simple, and he threw the paper away. That guy who asked the question, he was like, as if thunderstorm head on his head. He said, from that day on, no hating anybody. We love everybody. HaKohanim ochlim. Kohanim eat. Va'abalim mitkaprim. And the owners, they get kapara. Ve'inyan kapara hu levatel otan kavdalet zinei demis avuta. When Kohen eats Yosef Kahana, Hashem, I'm eating. So this guy, the owner of the korban, he should be purified from 24 types of tum'ah. Zohama. Umishum hachi davka alav mutal lil'ot ha-negaim levatel tum'at hanachash. Therefore, only Kohen can see who has leprosy, and only he can purify. Me'ata, guys, I'm going to give you a ticket now. Me'ata, mitchila haya lo letzayel gadol lemoshe she'aron hu kadosh v'tahod yeh mutal alav lil'ot hanegayim abayim misitra di misa'avuta. Moshe Rabbeinu was kind of upset. My brother, who's going gadol, has to be dealing with such a dirt, such a disgusting things that comes from shlita achara. Lo shaya choshesh likvod atzmo shel Aaron chasson. No, he didn't have kavod of Aaron. Just not proper thing. Not. Share David shaya melech haya omer what David said. V'nikloti od mizot, and I went down also with this. Ve'od yadav meluch lachot badam. What happened to David HaMelech? His hands was full of blood. Which blood? Blood of Nida. He has to check Alachot Nida. Yes, no? Shvil, Shilia. What's that? Premature babies, like 2 weeks, 3 weeks, 4 weeks old, 5 weeks old, 7 weeks old. And children would feel, they would bring, there was miscarriages. They would bring to him, he would see if there's a skin, there's no skin, there's vein, there's no vein, there's already the organ of the baby or not the organ. So he would say, if a woman is clean, she's Nida, she's not Nida. David HaMelech would see all this stuff and his hands would be full of blood. Gemara Brachot, page 4-5 talks about it in the beginning. Ela shaya choshesh ligdushato ultaharato, but he was worried about kedusha and tahara of Aaron, shel Aaron, she'alav yeh mutar letameh et hametzorah, because Aaron will be the one who will say to the metzorah, sir, you are tameh or you are tahor. You know, if Metzorah is tameh, Aaron has to pronounce. Share kodem she'akohen yigzor alav shehu tameh, ein koach leluchot hatum'ah lishlot al oto adam. Can you imagine? Look what happens. When Aaron HaKohen says, you know what? Close the door, come out of your house. I want to tell you something. What? Sure, you're tameh. Until Aaron HaKohen does not say you're tameh, not even one bad demon goes into this person to make him impure. As soon as Aaron HaKohen says you're tameh, 24 levels of impurity goes into this guy, and he becomes big tumah and has to separate himself from everybody. Why? Because he's the biggest tameh right now. That's right. You said it to the point. כפי שהרי קודם שהכהן יגזור עליו שהוא טמא, אין כוח לרוחות הטומאה לשלוט על אותו אדם. כפי חושקם ורצונם. אומנם כשיקראנו טמא, אז שולטים עליו בכל כוחם. They go full force, טומאה on this guy. ונמצא שהכהן גורם זה. And who caused them to become like this כהן? והשיב לה הקדוש ברוך הוא, and Hashem says, ולא נעלה ממנו כ"ד מתנות. And Hashem said to Moshe Rabbeinu, what Moshe Rabbeinu is not going to enjoy from people 24 types of presents, שהוא אוכלם כדי להחליש הכ"ד זיני טומאה. When Aaron HaKohen gets 24 gifts from owner of the animal, he lowers the tum'ah, weakens the, he weakens the tum'ah of Nachash, of the snake, that he gave to Chava 24 levels of tum'ah. Who weakens Aaron HaKohen by eating this korban? In Ken, 1 second, even though Aaron would be busy to be matire, to purify the metzorah, leper, when he purifies the leper, he also lowers and weakens the powers of this tum'ah. אותו הוא מרחיק הטומאה מן הקדושה שהרי בדד יוסף וכשמטמא אותו, when Aaron says you're tameh, he's pushing him away because he's the tum'ah now from kedusha, from other people. בדרך זה יובן מדרש תמוה. Now this wandering midrash is explained. על פסוק זאת תהיה תורת המצורע. This should be the law of the leper. כ"ד מיני שכין הם, there are 24 types of boils. וקושי שבכולן בעלי רעתן. And what's the worst one is the one who sees the emission. לפיכך משה מזהיר את ישראל. Therefore Moshe Rabbeinu says to Jewish people, זאת תהיה תורת המצורע. Be careful. Be careful. If you see, ra'atan is tzarat. Be careful if you take out from your mouth bad words. Hamotzi shem ra. If you will take out bad name about somebody, v'sham besamuch mimay havetanina hekiz dam v'shimesh mitato. And over there, right away, what it says: if person will do bloodletting, and then the person will be living with his wife. So two things: when person does bloodletting, he's weak. Those days, people used to take out blood from their body because blood, it's like a pressure, davleni. People used to have blood pressures. So they used to put piavka, piavka, you said that thing? Leech in the back. Leech in the back to take out blood. Or sometimes they would go to doctor bloodletting. So Torah says when you do bloodletting, that day, you should not be doing a mitzvah of pilia. If you would, your child will be so weak, he's going to be fainting every time. How they call it? Epileptic.
Wow.
את ישראל, זאת תהיה תורת המצורע המוציא שם רע, ושם בסמוך ממאי הוותנין הקיס דם ושימש מיתתו הוויין לבנים נכפין, people who faint. Epileptic. עד כאן ראשון. וקשה טובה. And it's very difficult. אם הנגע הזה אינו בא מחמת לשון הרע. 1 second. Why is this tzaraat came? If it's not because לשון הרע, אלא מחמת הקזת דם, if this leprosy came because this guy was letting his blood out, אם כן, מהו לפיכך משה מזהיר? Therefore, what does that mean? Then Moshe is giving warning. דמה העניין זה לזה. ועוד, זה הלשון של זאת תהיה תורת המצורע, אינו נראה לשון הזרע, אלא סיפור בעלמא. It doesn't seem like it's warning. It's like, seems like a story. ועוד, שהיה לו להכתוב ליתן אזהרה זו בתחילת פרשת הנגעים, לא עתה דמאי לי ביום טהרתו שכבר נלפה מהצרת. So why it mentions now when already this leper become purified? Why it talks about right now ביום טהרתו when he gets purified? ובמה שכתבנו אל תשפר. Okay, last piece guys, 30 seconds. And this is the way we said everything comes out beautiful. שאתה, שכבר נרפא, since he already got purified. He got cured. כדי שיזהר מהקו ד' זינה דמסעבותא, to protect this guy, to be protected from 24 zoama of impureness שבאו מחמת לשון הרע, that comes because of לשון הרע של הנחש of the snake, שלא יחזרו עליו הנגעים, so this leprosy should not come back to him. פעם אחרת, another time, בא כתוב ונתן לו רמז, the pasuk comes and gives him a hint. זה רמז זה שעל ידי זחילה זו יזהר בעצמו וינצל מכולם. So you should remember not to speak לשון הרע, because if he gets leprosy, then he's going to have 24 types of impureness. So he should be careful and protect himself from this. כשיחשוב שכל פרשת הנגעים לא באה אלא מחמת הוצאת לשון הרע של נחש הקדום. The whole לשון הרע is talking about what? So it shouldn't be לשון הרע of the snake. They shouldn't get the punishment of the snake. והתשפ"ר שהם כ"ד מן השכין. And Nachash is actually shchin, yeah, boil. So 24 types of boils come because Lashon Hara. שבשכין יש אותיות נחש, דהיינו נחש הקדמוני. Because the word boil is the same letters of Nachash snake. So therefore, the whole parsha tells us to be protected from all the problems is watch your tongue. Hashem should protect us, give us koach in learning and understanding more Torah. Baruch Adonai Le'olam.